1 month into 2023, how's the year going so far?
It's good, mate. I've come into 2023 as a professional. I made my professional debut in December, so now it's just a case of taking quite a structured approach as the year goes on. I was able to fly through my amateurs pretty quickly, but obviously, me being quite young as well, don't feel like there's a need to rush. So I want to get out around April time, go again in summer, maybe get one at the end of the year. But yeah, just really take each fight as it comes and knock them down like bowling pins.
You say structured, like structured how in your training, do you mean?
In my training, I'm just taking the right fights at the right time. Again, I want to make sure that I'm giving adequate development time between each fight and not just rushing from one camp to another and making it about jumping from one weight cut to another, because that's a big part of the game and a camp can become that. So it's obviously important that I'm living my life in between as well, and like I say, just taking the time to tick a few boxes and fill a few holes in my game.
Yeah. How do you sort of see this year playing out then in terms of number of fights or promotions you'll be doing?
I've spoken to my coach. I'd like up to 3 fights this year. If it's 2, I'm not moaning. If it's 3, great. Again, it's just about taking each fight as it comes. But for me, it's just about going in there and putting on the performances in order to get where I need to be. I'm here to make a name for myself. It's not about me. It's not about a numbers game for me. I'm here to put on the performances and showcase who Callum Connor is. So yeah.
First pro fight last year, like you were saying, did that experience feel any different in the lead up to it and then on the actual night? I've spoken to you once before, and I really do feel that the pro style suits me, and the longer rounds. As someone who's striking whose bread and butter is striking, I really feel I've got the time now. With the 5 minutes to really pace myself, find my openings, set things up. I consider myself quite a patient fighter, quite an intelligent fighter, and truth be told, I don't really feel that I've showcased that as of yet. I had quite a tough fight in October. It was my last amateur fight. It was a title fight. Drawn a lot of eyes in the country. It was one of the best fights in the country last year. So I've really been able to showcase what I've got in the locker in terms of my will to win and my heart, which most people I don't think really anticipate. There's a bit of an in-joke in the gym, everyone calls me pretty boy and all this, and I didn't know you had it in you, but yeah, I've got that there, and I really feel that I'm dangerous in all ranges, so I can't wait to showcase what I'm about. I wanted to ask you about that fight, sort of looking back, what did you take from it?
There's a lot to take from a fight like that in terms of the mental aspect of things, as well as the physical. They always say, when you lose, there's always more to take from the fight, which there was. But I've really gained a lot of confidence on that. I know I can push the pace for 5 rounds. I know that I've been in those deep waters. I know that I can not only survive but thrive. I'll come back, I'll win rounds. Let's not forget I was hurt early on in the fight. Broke my nose in the first round and went 4 more rounds. 1 round's back, and you can argue it was a very, very close fight. So yeah, I took a lot from that, from a mental standpoint more than anything. And then just filling certain holes in my game, which I'm still doing now. It doesn't come overnight; it takes time. So yeah, there's a few things, but 2023, you will see, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah. You said you surprised a lot of people in the gym. Did you feel like you surprised yourself as well, or did you always knew you had that in you?
Do you know something? This is the honest truth. I could not leave that cage and look my family in the eye, my father in the eye, knowing that I folded and I quit. It's just not in me, you know what I mean? Maybe I didn't know to that extent, but I knew I had it in the locker. Listen, this fighting thing, I didn't come along 3 months ago and think, oh, I'll have a go at that fight and it seems alright. Not the case. I've been doing it since I was, 9 years old. My dad from young on was taking me on the pads, and then I started going to Thai boxing, which I did for 9-10 years of my life, and then made the switch. So combat it's ingrained in me, it's part of me, you know what I mean? But yeah, you saw it, and hopefully I don't have to show it too many times, but I know I've got it there, and now it's just really showcasing the skill aspect of things, and that's where I really thrive.
Yeah. What experience does your father have in combat sports?
To be honest with you, my father did MMA before MMA was even a thing. You know, he jumped from like one discipline to another. He did a bit of boxing. He wrestled. He used to go down to a famous Y club in Salford. He was a black belt in judo. At the time, he was working a lot on the doors, so it was just about keeping himself handy. Don't think he really ever had intentions of competing, although he did a few times. It was more about, you know, just being able to keep his handy and tick over, and just the enjoyment of training. But yeah, my dad can do a bit, to be honest with you. And he just wanted to pass it over to me, and that he wanted me to be able to look after myself, given the situation, if it ever arose, if ever, you know, come about.
Yeah. So I mentioned short term this year, but further on in the future, how do you see your career playing out? Is there do you fancy yourself in the UFC? Is there other promotions you like?
UFC, no doubt, mate. That's the goal, and that's where I will be. You know, in the meantime, if it means that I have to go to another promotion, by all means, you know, if I've got to go to another promotion in order to raise my profile, brilliant. I think PFL doing fantastic things, and being honest with you, I really like PFL. Although the thing for me, wanting to throw my elbows, I feel like that's such a dangerous part of my game. That's obviously taken away, but you know, never say never. But yeah, I feel like I have quite a good selling point as well. You know, I can talk the talk and walk the walk, and that's what you're going to see from me. You know, this is a show business as much as it is a fight business. You have to be able to do the two. You see some guys, really good fighters, even on on the platforms like the UFC, some really good guys, but they don't have that ability to sell themselves. And I feel like I've got that, you know. The slick back hair only comes out every once in a while, make no mistake about it, you know. It's not every day. Every day I'm in here grinding for those moments.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You mentioned you use your elbows and you like the longer rounds. How do you describe your fighting style?
I'd say creative, intelligent. It's me. You know, one thing I did take from that fight you were talking about there, the amateur fight, is I think sometimes fighters go in with fights with game plans, and although that's good, you know, sort of mould how you're going to fight around a certain opponent and kind of adapt. But I think for me, going in there and just being me and being creative, and not really having a massive thought process behind it, just flowing. I feel like that's when you see the best of me, and that's what you're yet to see. But again, I'm dangerous in all ranges. You know, I'm a rangy fighter, especially at my weight. You've seen on those inside ranges in the clinch, I'm very dangerous, especially now that you factor in the knees to the head, the elbows. The wrestling's really coming on, the grappling's coming on. And at the end of the day, I'm doing everything I can in my power, everything I can of myself. You know, I'm here every day, all day. If there's any face you're going to see at top team at any time of the day, it's Callum Connor, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm just on the path to being the best. That's what it's about for me, legacy and a few quid on the way, see a few places.
When do you think you'll be in the cage again next, then? What do people expect when you are?
I'm looking at end of March, probably April, to be honest with you. April seems like a perfect time. But next time you see me, you know, expect a big performance. I'm coming in there patient, looking to find the openings early on and get big finishes. You've not really seen that of me yet, but I really feel now I've made that switch to pro, and I've got those longer rounds to really settle in and just see things, which is certainly what my style's based around. You're going to see some nice knockouts, mate.